Hey there, Suzette the Marriage Warrior. Thank you for joining me today on my channel. And I just want to take a minute to be grateful for you guys that are joining me weekly and subscribing to my channel, because it helps me to know that I'm giving some feedback that's encouraging you. And that encourages me. So it's a double-edged sword. The scripture talks about a double-edged sword. When we give one gift, we get something back. And I'm really appreciative that you are gaining some growth through this content, and you're learning some things, because I want you to be your own therapist. I want you to know how to grow and what you need to do to change in order to grow. Today we're going to talk about unmet needs of a wife. Now, a lot of people feel that they don't have their needs met by their husbands. And there's a myriad of reasons why that is occurring. But a number one reason that doesn't get enough attention is the way individuals of different genders produces a little drug called oxytocin. Oxytocin is released for men, and it nurtures them when oxytocin is released by tunnel vision activities. That means when they're hunting, when they're boating, when they're golfing, when they're fishing, when they're playing video games. These guys, the more that they tunnel vision, the more they release oxytocin, which means they feel nurtured. And so inside of that nurturing self, because it actually is a healthy thing that they're doing for themselves, for you, they may feel very selfish because they're not meeting your needs. Well, if we look at how women create oxytocin release, it's through connection. It's through that emotional engaging that nurtures us. And so we can get it from our friend groups, our other support teams, but we cannot get it like we need it except from our partner, our intimate, committed partner. And when we get it from them, we feel much more satisfied, much more fulfilled. And so, have you ever noticed that when your partner decides they want you to watch a ball game with them or watch a movie, they're like, let's stay in, I just want to watch a movie. And you say, okay, well, we're going to cuddle on the couch, or we're going to get to talk about something, and we've been wanting to watch this movie. And then all of a sudden you're sitting in that room alone. Now that dude is sitting beside you, but you feel very isolated and you feel very alone, and you're like, what am I doing here? Why am I sitting here? Because he hasn't said two words to me. He is really just not engaged at all. Then what happens? You are not getting needs met, and you're going to get aggravated, and that may start a fight because you're building resentment. Well, part of the reason you're building resentment is because you don't know why he's just sitting there. He is releasing oxytocin for himself. And he doesn't understand that you can't get it without connection. So the benefit of understanding this concept is you can explain it to your partner. You can tell them, listen, I understand that you need tunnel vision activities to release a nurturing drug, to nurture yourself. But you need to understand that I need connection with you for me to be nurtured and to release oxytocin. And if he understands that, then as you're giving them that long leash to go fishing, go hunting, go do all that stuff that's tunnel vision, he may be able to give you back more of what you need in the connection, because that is what two people do when they're growing together, is they try to understand each other without blame. Because think about, if you're on the sofa watching a movie, what happens in that? He doesn't think he's doing anything wrong when you're all of a sudden griping, and all of a sudden you're getting up from the movie, you hadn't talked to me at all, it starts an argument, and he is totally confused about what just happened, because he doesn't know why you're feeling what you're feeling. And when you tell him, I'm just by myself, you hadn't said two words, he's thinking, well, you're right by me. And for a man, when your actual body is in the room beside him, that makes him also feel secure. For a woman, it does not. And a man needs to understand that without you yelling at him about what makes you feel more secure. Just tell him, I need interaction. And he's either going to be willing to do it or he's not. But if you can kind of teach him about oxytocin, he will not feel that you're attacking him and then be defensive towards you, and then be able to talk through it. If you have a guy that really loves you and wants to love you better and wants you happy, He will listen to that. If you do not, you're going to continue to get unmet needs happening in your life, and you're going to get less and less satisfaction. That is when you got to either figure out what's going on in the relationship and do some self-care, or you got to decide to make a decision. Radically accept him where he is, or decide to leave. I hope you enjoyed this content. And for you that want more, keep subscribing. And again, I appreciate it greatly.